Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about the multi-dimensional arrays in C#. What is multi-dimensional arrays? As the name suggests, as we have seen one-dimensional array here, multi-dimensional, it means it's a two-dimension. It means it's more than one dimension. Our some folks, they call it rectangular array. This can be, for instance, two-dimensional array or for example a matrix. Or if we do the three-dimensional array, then we are talking about cubes. So the maximum number of dimension is we can reach all the way to up to 32. So how do we write the multi-dimensional arrays? Say here, as you guys seen here, we have declared the string. Say there is nothing in between, there is no comma here, but multi-dimensional arrays, say for example if you do a string, then what you do is that you guys needs to put a small comma here. Then this one becomes a multi-dimensional array. Say if you put another comma, it becomes a three-dimensional array. So now we are learning about the multi-dimensional. It means two dimensions. Say for example if we have a data type int, we put our square bracket and then we put one comma. Now this is automatically it's a multi-dimensional array. So now if you put another here, and then if you put an A for example, and then if you close it, now this one is say array of the size null. It means this array has no value, or you can say this array you guys can initialize it later if you want, but as far as C# is concerned, this array is null. Say for example now if you put an int, we makes it multi-dimensional array. Say if you put a B, for example this array is a B, and if you put it here and then you put a null. So if you guys want to be safe, on the safe side, you guys when you guys declare this one, you always put a null. For example, means your array is null. You have a multi-dimensional array, but this one is null. So you can and here this guy is sitting here, it means you guys can initialize this one. So how we going to initialize this A? For example, we can initialize A and we put a new int. As you guys can see here that C# is already completing this one. All we need to do is just press the tab and the C# keep on completing this one. We want to get rid of this because we want to see why we need this array. So what's say for example how many rows do we need? So we need, for example, if you guys looking for row, you guys need to put a, say for example 2 row. You guys can't put 1 because this is already 1 row. This one's already 1 row and this is already 1 column. But if you guys, because we are talking about the multi-dimensional, and you guys need to put a 2 here, at least 2 array here. As you can leave it empty as well. You can put a, say for example null, but here because we want not a one-dimensional as the case here, because we haven't put anything inside. With the two-dimensional, because we are putting comma, it means that there's a 2 side, there is a rows and columns. Okay, so now we have to put a 2 rows, and now you guys, it's up to you, want to put a 2 columns or you want to put a 3. For example, in my case I'm going to put a 3. Now here, because we have 2 row and we put 1, we put a 2, and we put a 3 here. So, and now because we're getting error, why we're getting error? Because C# is expecting to put the second one, the second row. So we put a 1 2 3, and then we put a 4 5, and we put a 6. So if you've seen here, our error has gone away. So now we have a multi-dimensional array of 2 rows and 3 columns. So that's how we interpret this one. So how about if you put a, say for example we put a int, and then we are putting multi-dimensional array, and for example we put a C and we put a new and we put an int. If we press the tab, is this one's also acceptable. This one's quite fine. There is no problem with this one because we already we have a multi-dimensional array, and we name it C, and we have 2 rows and 3 columns. Alright, so now I'm gonna show you guys another one. How about if I come here and I put an int, and I'm gonna declare that as a multi-dimensional array, and I'm going to put a, say for example, D. You can put a D array or whatever array you want to put it. I just want to put a D. So I want to put a new, I want to put a int, and then I want to put my bracket, but I'm not going to put any size here. So I'm now here, I'm putting size, but in this case I'm not putting anything here. And what I'm going to do, I want to initialize this one as like 2 by 3, for example. So I want to put a 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I want to borrow something from here, I want to copy, and I want to put it here. So let's see if C# accepts this one. C# is quite fine with this one. So as you guys seen here, that the first instance here, we have put a empty or multi-dimensional, but it's very empty. We're just declaring it. This one we are assigning null, and here we are initializing this one with 2 by 3. Here our matrix, 2 rows 3 columns, and in this one we are just declaring the size, and we haven't put anything inside here. So in this guys here, but we are not putting anything here. But as you guys seen here, the C# is very clever. As soon as we put this one, C# detects this one as say like array or something like that. So if you guys want to see what's inside this one, you guys can do so. You guys can do with the for loop. So in order for you guys to do multi-dimensional array, because it's say 3 by 3 array, for example, 3 by 3 array, you guys don't need, if you have one dimension, you can use a for loop just by itself. But if you have say 2 dimensional, because there is 2 sides, there is rows and columns, then you guys needs to do nested for loop. What is the nested for loop? It's a loop within loops. So loop within loops. Why do we need a loop within loops? Because we have what we have here is a 2 dimension. If you have a 2 dimension, then you need a loop within loops. It's called nested loops. So what we're going to do here is that we put a for. So we're going to declare our for, and there is another for inside this for. So what happens, the first for is goes with the row, and the second for goes with the column. So for the first row, you guys can put a int xyz, for example, int abc. We have used abc. You guys can put I and j, for example, our j and k, for example. So for example, this one we can put I, and here we put an int I equal to 0. Now that's I equals to 0 because we are initializing this one. So now what's the next one? Then you guys gonna put I, which is this guy here. I is less than D. Now where this D came from, the D is the name of our multi-dimensional array here. So we put the D, and then we put a dot, we put a get length. So why we getting get length? Because we are, if you guys want to see your number, you guys needs to do the get length, and then you guys needs to put a 0 here. Why are we putting 0 here? In order for us to show the first row, you guys needs to put a 0 here. That's the position of your array. So that's what you guys needs to do. Then this I, then we do plus plus. That's how the first one is going to be done. That's what this one's done. So this one is this guy is here. If you guys want to display say 1 2 3, then underneath 4 5 6, because this one is for the row. This guy is here for the row, because we are targeting the first one. And what about the second one? The second one is gonna do it here. So if this one is I, then this one is gonna be J. Or if this one is J, then this one is gonna be K. If this one is Y, then this one is gonna be Z. You can't put the same as together. So now here we are putting int J equal to 0. So now we are initialized this one. Then we put a J is less than D dot, because we are again targeting the name of the D dot, and what's the name? We're putting get length. Then we're putting our parenthesis here, and we are closing here. Make sure you're closing that one with a semicolon. Now if you put the position of that one 0, now we're going to put it 1. So now the C sharp's very clever. C sharp's gonna think that you want to target the second one, you want to target the column. Then here, because we put a j initialized with 0, j is less than d dot get length, and then we put a j plus plus. Now it's for us to show our array, to see what's in our array. So we put a console dot. Now if you guys notice here, we have only previously we were using right line. Once you guys using right line, it comes on top of each other. Say if you have say ABC, for example, if you have here, if you have 1, then if you want to see this way, you guys gonna put this one just right. If you want to say put say 2 is gonna be here, then 3 is gonna be here, you guys gonna put right line, because every time this loop runs, it's gonna show you guys like 1 2 3 1 2 3 like that. But if you guys want to see in one line, you guys need to see just right. So when you put a right, then you guys are good to go. Alright, so now if you guys need to put this ones here. Now if you guys want to display your multi-dimensional array of rows and columns, you guys need to put your array here. So we put a D and we put array. So, and then inside the array we put I and J. That's how we do that. So, and then if you guys want to say enclose this one, wrap this one with string interpolation, you guys can do so with say for example, you guys can put a $sign here. Then you guys need to put a double quote on this side, then double quote at the end. So if I copy this one and if I remove this one, that's how it looks like. This is called the string interpolation in C sharp. So, and then now because we put the name of the array, which is D, and then inside our array, because we have multi-dimensional I and J, that's what we're going to put it here. So, and then now this one's going to show 1 2 3, this line. What about 4 5 6? If you want to go put it underneath, you guys need to put it console.write line. So you guys need to put a console dot, you guys need to put a right line. That's it. So if I hit Control S to save, and then if I come here, you guys need to come here and run your program to see your multi-dimensional array. So alright, so here our program has been executed. If you look in here, we have put a multi-dimensional array 1 2 3. There is 2 rows here, 1 2 3, the first row, 4 5 6, the second row. So we have 2 rows and we have 3 columns here. So if you look in here, we have here, and the last one we haven't even put anything here. Once if you guys don't put it here, that's fine. As soon as long as you guys going to put something here as your initialization, say there is a 2 row, 1 2 3, that's the first row, 4 5 6, that's the second one. So we have a 2 by 3 here matrix, and that's pretty much fine. So all you guys need to do is run this iteration here. What's the iteration? Iteration means that this is a for loop. For loop goes again and again. It iterates through every single element. So this it iterates through 1 2 3. It's like a pointers. If you guys know C++, it's like a pointer that points to all of these. Then it goes this one, this one, this one. This guy is here because here we put that d.getLength. So that's what, if as soon as it reaches 3, it comes back to iterates the second row 4 5 6. Once it's done that, then it's going to stop because there is no more numbers after 6. So that's why it iterates 1 2 3 4 5 6. That's the first loop for the first row and the second one for the second row. If you guys have say multi-dimensional, you need more for loop. And as I said before, you guys need to put this console.write if you guys want to see that in one line. But if you say put a right line, you guys gonna see this one's 1 2 3 in not in say horizontal, but you guys gonna see in vertical. So that's how you guys need to put it here. And as I said, this one's I introduced you guys to the string interpolation. You guys gonna put a $sign to see your numbers here correctly. So this is the new C#, and that's also the case with the Python and every other programming language. This is called string interpolation. So as he said here, represent the text as a sequence of UTF-16 code units. And you look in here, that's system.string. So this is called string interpolation. So here now you guys look in here, that if you guys want to see this one in this format, you guys need to put it, if you guys want to see this one in this format, you guys need to put it like this. And the second line here, because that's the first loop, goes the first iterates to the first row. As soon as this reaches 3, this console.write puts it down here. Then it starts 4, 5, 6, then this one. So that's because this one is from the first loop. This console.write line is gonna be from this loop here. This loop holds this one, while this for loop iterates through the elements holds this one, because that's how you guys gonna see in one line. All right, so now there is one more type if you guys want to see. So now we have already declared the size here, but in the second one, and I'm gonna put this for loop a little bit down. At the second one, we haven't even declared the size. We just put it by ourselves and we test it, and it was quite fine. So how about if we gonna go with the last one? So we don't put this new int, for example, sometime from now, time to time. Say for example, if I copy this guy here, from time to time you guys gonna see arrays without this guy here. So all you guys gonna see is int, and then you guys gonna see this guy. This is very important, this part. So for example, E, and we put FA, for example. So now my call this array is FA array. All right, so now I'm gonna remove all this, and you look in here, I'm still okay. I'm still okay with C#. C#'s quite fine for me to remove this new int. So you guys, from now, if you guys see the C# programming, you guys gonna see this one, that there is a multi-dimensional array. There is a name here, and there is curly braces open, curly braces closed. That's the first one, and there is here the 2 rows here, 2 rows, and inside this one the 3 columns, 3 columns here, 3 columns here. So you guys gonna see this one is quite fine. You guys gonna see this one all the time. But if you see this like this, is quite fine too. You guys see this one, and keep in mind, don't forget this one, we have set everything to 0. So we have array here, multidimensional, we name it C, new int. There is 2 rows, 3 columns, and all of them have a value of 0, 0, 0. Keep in mind, if you don't put anything, the C# interpret this one gonna put all zeros for you. So in this guys here, we haven't put any size here, but in this one we have put a size here. That's a normal one you guys gonna see in the C#, but this one is quite frequent, like this one. So now if you guys thinking that look, if this is even practically, if this isn't working, I can prove this one. This is works quite fine. This is works like magic. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna use the same nested loop. And now we're gonna put this one FA. Say for example, int I is equal to 0. Instead of D, you guys need to put a FA. So just put a FA, and now because you're gonna get this guy here, and yeah, here you guys need to put, instead of D, you guys need to put a FA. So here you guys need to put a FA if you wanna to get the array of this. So now you guys look in here, we name it FA. Here we are running our nested for loop. That's it's called outer loop. We haven't get to the for loop yet, but this is called outer loop, outer for loop, and then that one's gonna get, this one is outer, and this guy here inside this one is called inner for loop. Inner for loop, our inner loop, whatever you guys gonna call it. So there is a, because this loop resides inside this loop, that's why it's like a nest. That's why it's called nested for loop, or you can call it nested for loop. Don't worry if you guys don't understand this one because too early. Once we get to the for loop, then we're going to explain this to you, about the outer for loop and the nested for loop, inner for loop. So here now we have put same I and J. You guys can put Y, Z, A. You guys can do J, K, whatever you guys want to put it, as long as you guys going to put it, initialize it to 0. And here you guys put a less then the name of your array, fa.getLength 0, and you put a I plus plus, and here you guys put a 1, and here you guys need to put this. You're all good to go. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna say control save, and then we're gonna run our program. Alright, so as you guys seen here, our program has executed, and you look in here that I have put it, this one FA. We're still seeing the same result. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Even if you guys are gonna put different numbers, you're gonna get the same result. So there is no difference between this guy here. This is a short version of the top. But if you look in here on the top, you guys can do this way as well. You can do this way with your multi-dimensional array. You can do this way. Even if you guys want to put different numbers, say for example you want to do this one 11, then you can 12, then you got 13 for example, then you put a 14, 15, 16 for example. You can do so, no problem, as long as you guys gonna put this 2 here, because it represents the multi-dimensional array. You guys are good to go. So if you look in here, now we have changed the numbers, and we still have the same nested for loop. That's our outer loop, outer for loop, and this is our inner for loop. So that's called nested for loop. And as long as you guys do this, you guys are quite okay, no problem. Alright, so as you guys can see here, we have changed the number from 1 to 3, and here we have changed it to 11, 12, 13 and 14, just to prove that our multi-dimensional array works. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So this is the multi-dimensional array in C#. Alright, so I'm going to wrap up. If you guys look in here, we have declared this array, and but we haven't initialized anything. So this guy here is null. We have put this our multi-dimensional array. Now here we are using this A, and we are initializing 2 by our arrays 2 by 3 matrix. And this guy here we are putting, and we are setting the C# is going to set all the values to 0, because we are not assigning any value, we are not initializing any value. So in this guy here, we haven't put the size here, but this one we tested and it's quite okay. In this instance here, we are not even putting this new int. We are just putting int, and to let the C# compiler know that this multi-dimensional array, we're putting a name and we are initializing directly. And as you guys seen here, this works quite okay, no problem. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe my channel Crywood. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.